Hey everyone, I just wanted to jump on here for a minute to talk about kind of a hidden gem within the Tithely Sites ecosystem, and that's a tool called the email newsletter. This is something that wasn't part of the original architecture of Tithely Sites, as obviously we wanted to just make simple, clean websites for churches. But as we went on, we discovered that so much of the content that you were putting on your website was actually the same content that you were looking to send out to your church community on a weekly or bi-weekly or monthly basis. And so what we wanted to do was make a really simple way for you to take that content, save you time, which obviously we only have so much of in any given week, and be able to easily send it out to your congregation. And so what I want to do here is just take a few minutes to highlight what that feature is so you can assess whether or not it might be a good fit for your church. Commonly what churches are doing for newsletters right now is using something like MailChimp or Constant Contact, or you're actually maybe going the really basic form of sending it through something like your Outlook account and or Gmail account and sending it that way. Those obviously will have different drawbacks. With MailChimp and Constant Contact, you're probably dealing with a potentially high cost each month. With something like Outlook or Gmail, you're dealing with kind of maybe a limited design capabilities, limited subscriber management, where you actually need to manually update those lists as people are coming and going from your church. And so there's a few wins we have here that I'd love to just highlight. So under the admin section, when the newsletter is enabled, you're going to see this newsletter option here. And this is a really basic area where there's a couple things you can do. You can either create your newsletter, or you can update or manage your subscription list. And so what I want to do here is just take a couple minutes and walk you through how we would actually create a newsletter. So here we're seeing our list of any past newsletters you've created. Over here, you're going to see our list of subscribers, and then here's any lists specifically that we've got within our newsletter area. So I'm going to click to add a newsletter, and the first thing it's going to ask me for is what's the email subject line? Where do you want this email coming from? So this is typically going to be your church administrator email address, info at your church or something like that. And then you're going to select which list you want to send it to. So you can have as many lists as you want, and you can kind of pick off who should be receiving this particular newsletter. In this case, we're going to send it to general. And so I'm just going to hit save on that. So right away down here, we're going to kind of get a sense of what our newsletter is going to look like. There's our church logo that's at the top. We can see it up there. Church logo there. Down here, we've got some built-in links to our social media. And then down here, we have all of our contact information for our church. And so all we have to do with each newsletter we send is populate the content of it. Now here's the real game changer as far as populating this content to save you time. We're going to hit to add a new section, and the first thing it's going to ask us is what type of section would you like to add? Do you want to add an event? Do you want to add news, a sermon, or you can add a custom section? If I click to add an event, what it's going to do is show me the upcoming events that I have listed on my church calendar. So obviously we just got some sample events listed here, but I'm going to click select. Yes, this is what I want to do. And what we're going to see is it's actually going to pull in the title, the date of the event, the description that we've got listed for that event, the what we want the button to say to take them, the automatic link to that event on our website, and the photo. And so it grabbed all that information over from the event itself within the website, but in the context of a newsletter, you may want to change it so all of this is editable for the newsletter. It's not going to change the original event that it grabbed it from. It cloned all that data over here, and now it's going to make it so that you can kind of tweak it and say, hey, just 3 days left till registration closes or something like that. And so what we're going to do is hit save newsletter section. It's going to take us back to that same newsletter area, and we're actually going to see our first section brought in here. Let's just quickly jump through. I want to show you adding a news section, a news story. So we'll pull one in this way. There you can see again, it automatically pulls some content through for us. We'll add that. There's our second section, and then we'll add one more for a sermon. And here, this is going to post a recently uploaded sermon. Going to pull that data through. Here, you see the button, it turns into listen now. Let's just say we also have a video uploaded, so I actually going to say watch now, just to show you how we can tweak those pieces. So there we go. We got our sections. They're all added in, and let's just pretend that we wanted to adjust these here. There's a button down here that says reorder sections, so I can actually grab any one of these and say I want this event second, I want the news post to be first. So you can just see how easily you can come in here, add the content, rejig it, and then update it. So now we've got our section there. If you wanted to send yourself a test version, so let's say we're about to send this to a subscriber list of 200, that can be a little nerve-wracking. We can just click right over here and send ourselves a copy and actually just post in an email address to send it to, or send it to multiple staff members to say, hey, can you guys proofread this before I send it out to everyone, and you're good to go. And then when you're all ready, you just hit schedule. It's going to confirm your email subject line. Do you still like that? It's going to pull in some sample preview text that kind of shows up within someone's inbox right below the subject line. It's going to ask you when you want to send it, so you can go through here and pick the date and time that you want the newsletter sent at. It's going to confirm where you want it sent from and confirm the list, and you can say, yep, we're good to go, and hit schedule the newsletter to be sent. So from there, I'm going to click back over into our newsletter section here. And so you see now we have this newly scheduled newsletter going out in 5 minutes from now. But down here we can actually see, and this is some sample data, so we don't have a ton in here, but you can actually see we're getting stats from a previous newsletter that was sent. And if I click to see that, I can actually jump in here. Oh, in this case, it's not great because we don't see it. But basically what that page offers is the ability to see who in our subscriber list received the email, who opened it, who clicked the link in it, who maybe did it bounce from it, it hit their spam folder or didn't even go to their email at all. So some really great capabilities of actually managing the success and actions of our emails that we sent out. And then from here, just a quick note, we can jump over to our subscribers list where we can easily kind of bring in new subscribers. We can import them if we want to using like a CSV or just pasting the list in here. And then one thing that's also great is that congregation members or anyone visiting your church on the website itself can actually sign up for your newsletter directly within here just by typing in their email address. And then when they get an email from you, they can always have the option to either update their email address, update which list they're subscribed to, or they can actually unsubscribe if they've moved on from the church and are no looking to. So even in that, saving you some time each week. So anyways, we are very excited about this feature. We think it's a great time saver. It's included with Tithely's site, so there's no additional cost, but also just something that looks and feels great to a congregation member who wants to stay in the loop, maybe isn't coming back to your website each week just by default, but you can actually bring the best of the website directly to them. So we hope you love it as much as we do. Thanks so much.